What has Garen Caulfield's value been to the team, having him as a regular fixture in the lineup, etc.?
Well, it's just another coach on the field, number one. He's been here for 3 years. He knows exactly what I want. He knows what Toby wants and the positioning, which is super important for us. And just sort of a steadying factor out there. And he's had a phenomenal year with the bat. It was a tough year for him last year. He had great contact, rates and hit the ball hard, just couldn't find any hits. And then, kind of got out of the lineup and it was tough to get back in.
How helpful was he during the times early in the season when you were losing one-run games and maybe the younger players are getting frustrated not seeing how this is going?
Yeah, I would say that Garen, Emilio, and Dawson as the captains did an unbelievable job of just, keeping keeping everybody as positive as we could and being honest. I mean, there was a lot of honesty that was shared. With especially Garen did a good job with that, just being, sort of setting guys straight. We want to be positive, but honesty is important too.
No one likes to go through a tough time, but as you said, he didn't get any breaks offensively last year, kind of lost his full-time job. How do you think that helped him in the long run?
Well, I don't know if it helped him. I think he went and had a really good summer in the Cape, hit the ball well and played well. It's a frustrating game already, and when you hit the ball hard and you don't get hits, it eats at you, and the frustration kind of got him at some point. So I don't know if it helped him, maybe made him a tougher ball player, made him a better person for it, and we hope it helps him for the rest of this year.
Do you think he has improved defensively?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's for me, if the ball's hit to Garen, it's an out for me.
Does this team continue to surprise you with what they're doing at the end of games, or is it kind of like status quo at this point?
No, it's every day surprises me because each game there's a feel to it, and I always, when I take the ball from the pitcher in the ninth inning, we change pitchers, or the eighth inning if we've given up the lead. I'll say, hey, don't worry, we'll hold them to this, and we'll come back and win. And I mean that, and I feel like this group can do it. So it's amazing what they've done, and hopefully we can keep doing it.
What is Candiotti doing right now that's making him so successful?
Well, I think he just his pitch mix is so good. His slider is very hard to hit. His curveball's added a lot. I think that's the one pitch that Kevin and John added this fall and made him throw it a lot more. And I think he's way more comfortable throwing it. So there's two different breaks, and the hitters aren't able to sit on one pitch. But if his velocity's at 94, sometimes 95, that's a tough pitch to hit.
When you looked at the changes you wanted to make with the pitching staff and bringing Kevin in, and what you've seen to this point, what are some of the things you look at and say, yeah, that's what I was looking for, that's what I wanted?
Well, we made the change, and we went nationwide search. And Kevin was a guy that we targeted and we wanted to get in here. And one of the reasons why was we felt like his pitching staffs were tough. Obviously, they threw a lot of breaking balls. He's good at teaching breaking balls. But you just watched how they did things. You watched social media things that he posted and the togetherness he got from that pitching staff. And that's the impressive thing about this group this year is from day one, they've truly believed in him.
Chip, a lot of teams use midweek games as opportunities to develop the depth in pitching. Because you guys switch guys around so much in relief appearances, you've been able to develop that on the weekends as well. Was that a strategy coming into the year, or is that just kind of how it's played out?
I think that, the midweek games are super important. You have to win them these days. The RPI is so important that we've gotten some Josh Morano some innings as a freshman. McKnight's got to pitch a little bit. We'll start Garazar tomorrow. He's been working super hard on his stuff, and he's a guy in the fall that was an impact guy for us, and just we haven't had a chance to get him in there enough. So hopefully tomorrow we'll see what we saw in the fall over in Las Cruces, and we can get him in the 27-man roster. But this is a hard roster to crack if you're a pitcher.
Is this the type of opportunity that you use, these late season midweek games? I know you got GCU next week as well. These late season midweek games to almost approach it like you would a game 4 of the Pac-12 tournament or something like that.
Well, yeah, and that's a great point. We have to at some point figure out when we get to the postseason who's going to be that 4th starter, on the weekend or wherever it is. And we feel like if we can get the 3 good starts from Kent, Candiotti, and Walty, then that enables us in games 4 and 5, if there's that many, we can use more of a bullpen tactic. which will be nice. But we have guys that can go, more than one inning, more than 2 innings in Zastro and Nets and guys like that who've done it in the past. So we're trying to develop that. But again, these are important games. GCU is a tough opponent. We play ASU on the weekday, and then I saw what New Mexico State did here, so we have to be ready.
Because there's only a day off between the midweek and the
Right.
series, are you less inclined to use your weekend relievers in this game because then you may not be able to use them twice on the
Right.
weekend?
Certain guys we'll stay away from instead of the Tuesday. The Wednesday does pose that issue. So there's certain guys that we felt like we used a lot this last weekend that we probably won't use. I won't say who, but I mean you could probably figure it out if you look at the game logs. And then other guys, if they pitch Wednesday and it's pretty extensive, they probably won't pitch till Saturday. Yeah.
Is there anyone else besides Garezar who's going to get a shot on Wednesday who hasn't been?
Maybe McKnight. McKnight will go on the road with us. So we'll see, if we can get him in there. But again, it's important to win these games, and we have to put the best guys in there that we feel at the time can get the guys out.
So you can bring 30 to Las Cruces,
Yes.
but only 27.
No, we'll take 30 on the whole trip.
Okay.
But only 27 will be eligible for the Pac-12.
When do you determine who those last few spots?
We already have.
Oh, you already have.
We'll let them know today.
The Aggie shortstop, Romeo Ballesteros, kid from here, South Point, Pima. Just curious your thoughts on him from what you've seen with him.
Well, we felt like when he was at Pima that he was like another Nick McClary, who we had here last few years. We felt like, again, like a Garen Caulfield on defense. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to make all the plays. I know last year he went over there and didn't hit, like he did at Pima, but this year he's been a real impact player for him. And we're always proud of Tucson guys. It's tough when they beat you, so you like them on your team. But it was great when we played them here. All the South Point, people were here to root him and Mason. It was fun. So he's a very good player.
Is Richie going to be able to make the trip?
Richie will not make the trip.
You guys, when you went to Cal, didn't have the pressure of this Pac-12 streak, and you didn't have the target on your back. So now you take things one game at a time.
Right.
But now you got a team that has lost a couple in a row and sees an opportunity with that number by your name to knock you off. Is there an approach where you guys have to know that you're going to get the absolute best shot of these teams?
I mean, we just play, like you said. It's one game, but also, we're not. We tell our players. Toby's really good about this with the hitters. We're not sneaking up on anybody. For a while there, like you said, to go to Cal, no one's expecting much out of us. Our record wasn't very good. Now all of a sudden we have all these wins in league. We have a number next to our name. So yeah, there'll be a little extra pressure on us. But again, we're so excited about our 3 starters that we know even if we don't get off to a good start offensively, we'll be in the game late.
You alluded to Dawson being one of the 3 captains. What has he brought to the table with all of the experiences that he's had, different coaching staffs, going to the College World Series?
Yeah, I think those are it. I mean, all the different experiences are huge, and I just watch the guys on the bench and how good. And you talk about Dawson, but keeping the guys going. That was not a real good thing in my first 2 years. We had a hard time keeping the bench going. But if you listen to our bench this year, they're always into it. They have a lot of little deals they do, and they have fun. And Dawson's a big part of that.
Softball, that's
There's a little bit of that, but it's college baseball. It's best. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.